So with Super Mario Party Jamboree, we have a new mode coming, which is called the Koopathlon, if that's how you pronounce it. And I'd love to say that this is super exciting because I think it's 20 players online. I should look at this before I'm doing this video, but this is spur of the moment. I think it's like 20 players online, and it looks like a lot of fun. You just verse through, and then whoever ends up like winning the whole thing, like wins the whole thing. Wow, that was terrible to explain that. But anyway, so it seems cool, right? And I remember with Mario Party Superstars, I was super excited for the online portion because there's the online for the boards, and then there was this whole separate online competition thing. Super excited for it. It came out, and very quickly, I didn't care about it because it was a lag fest, and that's where with the Koopathlon, I'd love to be. Is that really what it's called? I would love to be excited, but I can't. What's the point? The odds of them managing when it was just 4 people, it lagged really bad with Superstars. With 20, screw it. I'm looking it up. How many is it? It's up to 20 players. So now with 20 players, they're going to somehow have it be less laggy. Now, do I think that it's possible for them to fix it? Sure, I do, because there's been games on the Switch that I think are good. And oh my gosh, I feel like I've said this so many times throughout my streams and stuff, but I really can't assume that everybody knows this. So there is a difference between games that need to be in sync and games that don't. So Mario Kart 8 is a game where I feel like a lot of people say like, "Oh, I don't really notice any connection issues." It does not need to be in sync. So that's why sometimes you'll see somebody like get hit with an item, but they keep going the same speed. It's because what is on your screen may not be on someone else's. Whereas Smash Bros has to be in sync because you can't hit someone on your screen and then on their screen that didn't happen. So that game has to be in sync. But another game that has to be in sync where the online was great was, so when a game does not need to be in sync, there's less times that you'll like feel lag. Because like I said, in Mario Kart, you'll just see someone get hit with an item and they keep going. Like you don't get like slowdowns. Whereas Smash Bros, you'll get slowdowns. So a game that had to be in sync that I thought was great was Mario Tennis Aces. That's the game that I always bring up. The online was amazing. So with this game, is it possible that they'll make it better? Yes, it's possible. But I just don't. Honestly, I don't see it happening. I just don't. I'd love to be optimistic and be like, no, like maybe there's. I just don't. I feel like the boards with Superstars felt pretty good for the most part. Sometimes you would get a laggy match, but I feel like the boards overall, it was a pretty good experience. But I feel like when it came to that minigame mayhem, or I don't even know what it was called, the thing, just that minigame side mode where you could verse people online. I feel like if they couldn't get that to not really be a laggy mess, I just don't have much faith in them having it to be 20 players. I mean, I would imagine that, well, no, because I mean, even on the screen, I mean, sometimes you saw there was like quite a bit of people versing at the same time. So I really don't understand how they plan to do this. I don't understand how they plan to get it to where it doesn't lag. And it's getting very old that with Nintendo, we can't just be excited for this stuff. I would love to see a mode like that and just be excited. Not thinking about it lagging, not thinking about disconnects, not thinking about it just being a bad experience. All the other consoles, all the other games, they have features you don't sit there and question. Like when they show the new Call of Duty, you're not sitting there wondering like, I don't know if it's going to lag. I don't know if, all the game modes will be available at certain times, because that's a whole nother thing too, is like, I mean, I don't think they'll do this with this game, but Splatoon has things where they're just shut down. You have to wait. Mario Strikers Battle League. There's freaking seasons where you literally just can't play that mode online. You can't do the ranked stuff online. So it's like, which Mario Tennis Aces has seasons and you could play the ranked whenever you want. But I just feel like, so like, I don't think that Jamboree will do that, but it's like, the fact that you even have to question, like, again, don't think it'll do with that game, but I'm just saying in general with Nintendo, you should not have to question if game modes are going to be available, like at certain times. I remember me and my friend, we loved the, oh wow, I don't even remember what it's called now. It's in Splatoon 2, Salmon Run. We loved Salmon Run. And it was just closed at times, and we just couldn't even play it. And it sucked because me and him could only play 2 days out of the week. And if it was shut down, it was shut down. Just couldn't even play it. So I don't think the Koopathlon will do that, but it's just frustrating that we can't just see something in a trailer and just be excited. Like, there is no part of me that is excited about the Koopathlon because I'm just treating it as if it's just like a bonus. If it works, great, it's a bonus. If not, I wasn't expecting much anyway because I've been burned so many times when it comes to Nintendo and online. And I know you could say like, well, that's your fault for even expecting for the online to be, good when it comes to Nintendo. But it's to the point now where like, I understand that Nintendo is behind the times with certain things, but at this, I mean, they've been improving with the online for sure. But it's at the point now where, come on. Like it really, I understand that, they can't work magic. If someone has a terrible connection, they're going to have a terrible connection. But all the competitors and all the other games have ways of working around this. And with Nintendo, it's just like, well, I mean, even with Smash Bros, it goes by location when it matches you up. I mean, in theory, that's good, but if they have a bad connection, it doesn't even matter if they live next door to you. If it's a really bad connection, it's not going to work that well. And that's where it's frustrating that it doesn't just like look at the status of the connection and then deem if it's like good enough or like allow you to quit if it's too bad. That's probably one of my biggest things is them not allowing you to quit. If I could just quit with no penalty and just move on to the next thing, that'd be great. But I want to say Mario Tennis Aces did allow you to quit with no penalty if it deemed the connection was too bad. I don't remember for sure, though. But why should I have to sit there and suffer through a terrible experience? Mario Maker 2, another great example. I was excited. I was super excited to be able to play that and compete online. And it was such a laggy mess that there was just no point. And it sucks too, because when I would play with my friends who had good connections, it was a ton of fun. Ton of fun. That versus mode online could have been so much more if it wasn't just a laggy mess. And again, they can't do magic with if someone has a bad connection, but there's ways to work around like who they match you up with and stuff like that. Because if you have 3 people with a great connection and there's one person that's just making it a complete lag fest, I mean, something should be done in that match. I mean, I feel bad for those who don't have the means to have a great connection or whatever it may be when it comes to trying to play online, but I don't recall playing other games online and one person having a bad connection making it just a bad experience for the rest of everybody else. I feel like those games have ways of taking care of, or like other games have ways of dealing with that. Because I mean, look at all the games that are out. I mean, Fortnite, all the like the PUBG, like all the big battle royales. I mean, sure, there's someone in there with a bad connection, but it has ways of dealing with it. And I just wish that Nintendo would find ways to deal with it. I mean, even thinking about like Call of Duty. Like I'm sure there's ways that it deals with it. Like even games that are more like 4v4 or 5v5. I mean, there's ways that they deal with it. Whereas Nintendo is more just like, well, we don't want anyone to get left out, so we're just going to match everyone with everyone. But it's like, okay, well, how eventually you're going to get people to stop using it because it is very frustrating. It's just extremely annoying when you try to play something and it's just a complete lag fest. So I don't know. I hope the Koopathlon proves me wrong. Also, is that how you pronounce it? Because wow, does it feel weird to say. But I would love to be surprised. I by no means am saying this as fact. I have no freaking clue. But considering Nintendo's track record and considering Superstars, not really expecting too much from it. But like I said, if it ends up being fine, I'll play it. And hopefully it's fun. I mean, I haven't even factoring in if it's fun or not because I'm too focused on if I can even play it, if it's even functioning. So that's how I feel about it. Let me know in the comments section down below on how you feel about it. And yeah, I mean, hopefully it works well.